a birch anew, undressed in ribbons fair. When I was cold, the breathless moon in the blue veil of the night, the shadows of the trees appear amidst the lantern lights. We've been running all the night in some time of this day. daylight is almost gone. The birds have sung their last. The bells call out to mass. Sit ye by my side, for the night is very long. There's something I must tell before I pass along. I joined the brotherhood. My books were all to me. I scribe the words of God and much of history. Many a year was I witched out upon the sea. The waves would wash my tears, the wind my memory. I'd hear the ocean breathe, exhale upon the shore. I knew the tempest's blood, its wrath I would endure. And so the years went by within my rocky cell, with only a mouse or a bird, my friend, I loved them well. And so it came to pass, I'd come here to Romany, and many a year it took till I arrived here with thee. On dusty roads I walked, and over mountains high, through rivers running deep, beneath the endless sky. Beneath these jasmine flowers, amidst these cypress trees, I give you now my books and all the mysteries. I take the hourglass and turn it on its head. When the suns are still, 'tis then you'll find me dead. We'll light the candle down, the daylight is almost gone. The birds have sung their last, the bells call out to mass. Wind was a torrent of darkness among the ghastly trees. The moon was a ghostly galleon tossed upon the cloudy seas. The road was a ribbon of moonlight over the purple moor, and the highwayman came riding, riding, riding. The highwayman came riding up to the olden door. He had a French-cocked hat on his forehead, a bunch of lace at his chin, a coat of claret velvet, and breeches of brown doe skin. They fitted with never a wrinkle. His boots were up to the thigh, and he rode with a jewel twinkle. His pistol buds a twinkle, his rapier hilt a twinkle under the jeweled sky. And all the cobbles he clattered and clashed in the darkened yard, and he tapped with his whip on the shutters, but all was locked and barred. He whistled a tune to the window, and who should be waiting there but the landlord's black-eyed daughter, Bess, the landlord's daughter, plaiting a dark red love knot into her long black hair. When kiss my bonny sweetheart, I'm after a prize tonight, but I shall be back with the yellow gold before the morning light. Yet he would caress me sharply and hurry me through the day, then look for me by the moonlight, watch for me by the moonlight, or come to thee by the moonlight, who hell should bar the way. He rose upright in his stirrups, he scarce could reach her hand, but she loosened her hair in the casement, his face burned like a brand, as a black cascade of perfume came tumbling over his breast, and he kissed its waves in the moonlight, oh sweet waves in the moonlight. He tugged at his rein in the moonlight and galloped away to the west. Sunset before the rise of the moon, when the road was a gypsy's ribbon looping the purple moor, a red-coat troop came marching, marching, marching. King George's men came marching up to the olden door. They said no word to the landlord, they drank his ale instead, but they gagged his daughter and bound her to the foot of her narrow bed. Two of them knelt at the casement with muskets at the side. There was death at every window, hell at one dark window, for Bess could see through the casement the road he would ride. They tied her up to attention with many a sniggering jest. They had bound a musket beside her with a barrel beneath the breast. Not keep good watch and they kissed her. She heard the dead man say, look for me by the moonlight, watch for me by the moonlight, I come to thee by the moonlight, who should bar the way. She twisted her hands behind her, but all the knots held good. She writhed her hands till her fingers were wet with sweat and blood. They stretched and streamed in the darkness, and the hours crawled by like years, till now on the stroke of midnight, called on the stroke of midnight. The tip of her finger touched it, the trigger at least was hers. in the distance, were they deaf they did not hear. Down the ribbon of moonlight, over the brow of the hill, the highwayman came riding, riding, riding. The redcoats looked up rhyming, she stood up straight and still. Toddle out in the frosty silence, toddle out in the echoing night. Nearer came and nearer, her face was like a light. Her eyes grew wide for a moment, she drew one last deep breath. Then her finger moved in the moonlight, her musket shot at the moonlight, shattered her breast in the moonlight, and warmed him with a death. He turned his spur to the west, he did not know she stood, bowed with her head of the musket, drenched with her own red blood. Not till the dawn he heard it, his face grew grey to hear. Up as the landlord's daughter, the landlord's black-eyed daughter, had watched for love in the moonlight. eyes were overgrown. When the priests of pride say there is no other way, I tilled the sorrows of stone. I did not believe because I could not see, though you came to me in the night. When the dawn seemed forever lost, you showed me your love in the light of the stars. Cast your eyes on the ocean, cast your soul to the sea. When the dark night seems endless, please remember me. When the mountain rose before me, with a deep well of desire, from the fountain of forgiveness, beyond the ice and the fire. Cast your eyes on the ocean, cast your soul to the sea. When the dark night seems endless, please remember me. We share this humble path alone. How fragile is the heart. Oh, give these clay feet wings to fly, to touch the face of the stars. Breathe life into this feeble